going on, guys?
One of those laps, something was going to go wrong.
This is that gt3 RS that wrecked at the Nürburgring recently.
As I said earlier, I was getting more and more confident at the speeds required to begin this
I don't know why it's glitching.
which may have been my biggest mistake. I got too comfortable on the world's most dangerous racetrack, and it very quickly reminded me why this place is called Green Hell. In an instant, I'd hit the wall. My mind at this point flashed back through the months of planning, all the training, travel, filming, cost and investment, let alone the people who had supported me along the way.
So this is a guy who, long story short, wanted to try to break the 7-minute barrier at the ring. And he basically was doing what I would suggest you never do, and that's use the bumpers every other turn. And the problem is when you watch people like Misha, who's right there in the recommended video right below it. Misha, I don't think he uses his power for good. It's all a show. It reminds me of Justin at Horsepower Obsessed, to be quite honest with you guys, where they say, oh, I said this, therefore that's what I meant. But they don't care about the outcome of their real actions on the deeper level. So basically, Misha, makes these videos like, oh, they're just engineers from General Motors. They didn't know that you could go over the curb here and here and here and blah, 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 blah. Makes it all sound nonchalant. Meanwhile, here's a guy, and by the way, that guy uploaded his video literally 1 hour after I uploaded mine this morning, criticizing Misha for saying going over the curbs is like best practice. It really disgusts me that someone with Misha's platform doesn't take his platform and his influence more seriously. And what I'm saying is, we've already talked about the STO, rear caster, and him being too negligent to explain that to people. It'd be a great opportunity to teach people how the car goes from super dangerous to super safe. When he fixes it, he'd look like a hero and very intelligent and teach millions of people something amazing, but he doesn't do it. And I think part of why he doesn't do it is because I think that the guy is an egomaniac, sore loser, just like Justin at Horsepower Obsessed. And so when you give them advice, they don't care if you're right. Oh, well, you didn't give me the advice in the proper way, therefore I'm determining I'm never going to do that. Their ego interferes with them saying, you know what, Brandon, you were an asshole about the way you explained it to me, but you had a point, but I still think you're an asshole, but I'm going to go ahead and make the video anyway because millions of people's lives are worth it instead of, blah, blah, blah. So it's like I've ran into this with Conti and the tire pressure issue and alignment issues. I ran into it with Justin, him denying that there was an EDIF issue and him saying that I was full of shit about the ring times early on, that I had no clue what I was talking about. And here we are, Aaron Link, and one of the best drivers in Germany, set a 710 and a 711 in, the Z06 C8, which is exactly what I said. I said they're not going to get below 7 minutes in that car. My prediction for that car was a 703, by the way. I said that's the best you're probably ever going to see out of that car is a 703. And whoever does it's going to be playing Russian roulette because the EDIF program malfunctions when you go over curbs. All EDIF programs have the capacity to malfunction when you go over curbs because it's just in the nature of how EDIF programs on electronic differentials work, okay? And so that's one of the big perks to mechanical diffs is you don't have to worry about a surprise when you go over a curb. EDIF, you don't know what the car is going to calculate, just happened. Let's put this into perspective. When you go over a curb, your car goes up on two wheels and potentially all four wheels leave the ground, but you're at least going up on two wheels because the two that went over the curb go airborne. So it's really no different than when I hit the bear, if you stop and think about it. And I already told you guys when I hit the bear, when the car came back down, the car didn't steer right, it didn't brake right. As Oliver Gavin would like to say when he was at the ring his first time doing his first laps, I had an unexplainable steering event, which I'll pull that up for the people who are too lazy to watch my other videos. I'm really getting sick of people coming to my channel and expecting me to explain everything to them in the comments because they're too lazy to watch the videos before, okay? So I'm doing my best to try to create an all-encompassing video for all of you newcomers and all you low IQ motherfuckers out there who just think it's your God-given right to come in here and demand that I explain everything to you in the comments and waste my time after I've already made thousands of fucking videos explaining everything. And now I got to explain it to you, princess, again in the comments because you're too lazy to watch the other 10-minute long video and the other 10-minute long video. You expect me to explain an hour worth of fucking content in a fucking comment? Go fuck yourself. So I'm being serious. Like, you guys. So anyway, this thing with Misha, you know, and I know this will never happen, but I think it would do Misha well to go spend the week in prison, in jail, in prison, and be told that the reason why you're in prison is because you are too careless with nonchalantly talking about things on your channel that can get people killed. And you don't give people the real warning of what the problem is. It's like, it's what low IQ people do with like race. They'll see one person from a race do something bad and another person from another race do something good. And then they just say all people in this race are good and all people in this race are bad. Misha's the same way with the Lamborghini STO. All Lamborghini STOs are bad because Misha's too stupid to understand that the Lamborghini STOs that he's driven had messed up rear caster because the owners messed with the alignments on the cars and it knocked the rear caster out of alignment. And they didn't know how to rear caster angle, let alone how to set it, because it's very tricky to set. It's not something that the machine. So instead of Misha teaching you guys these things, he's just this low IQ tribal. Oh, STOs are bad. Oh, I love these cars. Oh, just go over the curbs if you knew how to drive, GM engineers. And Misha doesn't understand that it's a glitching EDIF car. And I already explained this to him a while ago. I explained this to him after Sport Auto did their lap. I said, when you go over the curbs, I even explained it to Misha before that, back when I was being very civil with the guy, very, uplifting and positive. I was like, hey man, you got to be really careful when you go over the curbs in the C8 because it can spin you, blah, 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 blah. But Misha's too intelligent because I drive the Ring every day and therefore I can't learn anything new from anybody who's a Corvette, the highest mileage Corvette guy. And just to be real, guys, whoever tried to defend me in the comments and said that I drive 70,000 miles in C8s, I've driven 88,000 miles in C8 Z06s, and I've driven another 200,000 in regular C8 Stingrays, and another 300,000 plus in C7 Z06s. So those of you trying to give me compliments, get it right. I'm just being blunt. You guys don't understand. I've driven over 500,000 miles in eDiff cars, as well as the mechanical diff C8, and I'm here to tell you the mechanical diff C8 is the far superior car. And most people don't even know which car is the mechanical C8, okay? So mechanical diff C8. So let's go back to the Oliver Gavin video here, because I know there's a lot of people here who just don't have the patience and it really is a Darwinism when you guys don't want to learn what's going on in the world around you, and instead you just think you're all just a bunch of know-it-alls. You're all a bunch of little Mishas and Justin horsepower obsessed, and you guys have no clue. Like the arrogance level of most of you versus how much you know, it's out of whack. I don't mind arrogance. Like, I don't mind Michael Jordan being arrogant. I don't mind Wayne Gretzky being arrogant. I don't mind Ayrton Senna if he's arrogant. I don't mind these kind of people. I don't mind Max Verstappen being arrogant. What I mind is when people can't admit that they make mistakes. And if Misha would come out of the woodwork after 2 years and finally say, hey guys, I made a huge mistake on the STO, it should have had a rear caster alignment, and I genuinely just didn't know what it was. And I didn't look into it because I was pissed off at this guy who was giving me shit on the internet, making fun of how dumb myself and my wife are, or girlfriend, fiance, whatever she was at the time. And he's basically saying that I'm just this clickbait guy using a chick with big boobs to get clicks instead of use that power. I'm not opposed to you putting your big-breasted wife in the video. I'm opposed to you using your clout to not teach people what's really going on with these cars, and misleading people that, oh, he should have just done this and he should have just done this and blah, 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 just done this. And if he would have just done this, then he could have picked up even more time and blah, 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 blah. So hang on, I'm having to delete some videos here off my phone because my phone was glitching and running slow. I realized it wasn't the internet, it was my phone. So thanks for being patient with me here. So let's get back to the video that I put up the other day. Let's see if we can't find it here. Da-da-da-da-da. Sorry, guys. Waiting for this to load. So instead of Misha, man, my phone's still glitching, man. I gotta restart my phone or something.
Once in a lifetime chance.
So instead of Misha cite the facts and really like expose to the world, like where Oliver Gavin, who's a 5 times Le Mans winner, is he a good enough driver for you, Misha? 5 times Le Mans winner, Oliver Gavin. Oliver Gavin in this documentary, which GM has pulled down off the internet, okay, but luckily other people ripped it and pirated it and put it up on their channels. Oliver Gavin in this documentary, look at this thing. What the fuck is going on? It's just glitching like crazy.
The excitement level is so high from this car.
I don't understand.
A Corvette has to be a very good.
Anyway, Oliver Gavin admits that he had a steering event where he lost control of the car and it didn't behave as it should. And he didn't even mention anything about bumpers. And I'm trying to get to it here for you guys. You know who Oliver Gavin is, Misha? He's the guy who beats all your European top racers' asses at the Le Mans every year. You remember that guy, Misha? So if God damn it, it closed. So if Oliver Gavin says the car has a problem, Misha, maybe I'm not lying, Misha. You mindless piece of shit. Because that's what you are to me at this point, buddy. You're going to get people killed because you're giving bad advice to people. I've made videos saying I care about people's safety. I don't give a fuck what your verbal intentions are, Misha. You don't give a fuck about people's safety because you're too stupid to care about fucking people's safety because your actions are that you just make videos. Watch this video, Misha. I'm going to shut up for a second, and then I'm going to explain what a mindless fuck you are.
We dreamed about it for years, but I would say 30 years ago, no one in a million years would have dreamed about us developing this at the Nürburgring. Being at the Nürburgring is the toughest test for a vehicle, period. And the reason for that is we have all sorts of events during one lap.
This aired back.
One lap of this, you're going to reach the top speed of the vehicle.
2019, Misha, is when this aired.
You're going to reach maximum ladder acceleration and very high speeds.
I think it's something like 15 corners on this track. Your max lap acceleration at over 90 miles an hour. I know those 15, like 12 of them are over 120. You can't find that in North America.
If the car is just slightly not dialed in, it exacerbates.
Look at, he's talking about how he lost control of the car. That's Oliver Gavin, Misha, the guy who's a better driver than you, Misha.
Big problem here. I mean, and it's good for development engineers because it points out very clearly, very quickly.
Listen to what he says,
this is
Misha.
something we need to improve.
My low IQ piece of shit.
What else we got to throw in the pile? But I also wanted to see if I could get that same steering event that I had. I'm going to go and look at the data in that just to see exactly what happened.
So you were turning the corner, and the entire time you were stay away from center into the corner, you had higher efforts than you expected.
Rather than being linear, it was sort of increasing and then dropping off. It felt unusual and didn't feel as it had. Okay. And it was like I had confused the car somehow. So
which run? Like was this?
this was my first run